to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from TikTok. It's going to be bad women, good women, bad men, good men, in the Passport Bro saga continues. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
I've been doing a deep dive on the passport bros phenomenon, and here's an insight that a lot of people miss. The way these men are leaving their own countries to go to lower income countries to find wives, and they say that it's because the women there are more feminine and they really value femininity in a woman. They say that the women in their own countries, they're not as feminine anymore, they're masculine, and they just don't want that in a partner. But then I look around me, my neighbors, my friends, and a lot of the women here are feminine, they're beautiful, they have a soft feminine aura, they treat their men well, they cook, they clean, they do everything. And then I realized that I'm in a high-income neighborhood and their husbands, they're high earners. This just highlights how femininity has become a luxury in the US. Because it has become a luxury that a lot of men cannot afford, they go to places where femininity is the norm and not luxury. And that's okay, good for them. Bottom line is, if you're a feminine woman, you get the best pick of men in any society. Whether you're an American woman in the US or a foreign woman.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what she says, you know. It is becoming more of a luxury for the West to get married and have effeminate women. Mostly the upper echelon of men are going to probably be able to do that the best, or find those types of women or get those types of women, right? And the average normal women are not feminine. You know, they worked hard or they worked all their lives or whatever it is. And it's just correct that the feminine women of any country or any class is always going to be the one that gets picked. Like, women, listen, femininity is what gets you what you want, not feminism.
I only want you for the money and the clothes and for the bills. That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here. It's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's 100% to 0.
It's one side. Look, that's why American relationships are failures. That's why American women, on a global context, are the worst for relationships, long-term period. That's why the divorce rate is the highest in the world here. And that's why, on the desirability level, American women are at the bottom of the global barrel. This is all statistically documented from men, because at the end of the day, the ones who decide if a woman is valuable for a relationship is men.
Well, the man is the person that's going to have to, obviously, propose and buy the ring and all that stuff.
Give them the ring.
Just look at her just like, damn, he's right. Am I looking at this shit wrong?
I really do believe that modern feminism encourages male absence. It encourages it because it's become toxic. They use terms like toxic masculinity, right? And I say to myself, all of their examples of the idea of what it means to be a man now is toxic. They think, oh, this is a man. Masculinity is wrong.
Yeah, stoicism, you know, not crying in front of them, you know, like opening doors for people, you know, all these things that men used to do and took pride in it. Now women see us as some kind of predators for doing these things.
There's something inherently wrong with being a masculine man. And to me, I always say that it was toxic masculinity that saved me. You know, I had a healthy fear of my grandfather. Nobody played around with my grandfather. We still don't play around with my grandfather, you know.
My dad is the grandfather in this story. Nobody messes with my dad. Nobody in the family. My dad is the youngest male in the family, but he has the biggest clout in the family too. Even though we're ran by a matriarch, like my oldest aunt is the head of the family. It's just how it ended up because she's the oldest. And my dad doesn't even listen to her most of the time. But everybody respects my dad. You know, the things that my dad has done throughout his life has earned a tremendous amount of respect from the family. So.
You know, and it's just, there's a certain level of respect when you're in his home. There are rules. And because I had that healthy fear, I was, I guess, more responsive to that sort of authority when I had to go out in real life. You know, I believed in structure. And yet this version of feminism today, we have women that are basically promoting men should act like women, right? And women should act like men. There's all this confusion. You can pick your gender, you can do what you want. And ultimately, what I think it's doing is feeding into this idea of a breakdown of the family.
I agree that the loss of respect globally in the U.S. is just kind of what's fueling a lot of things. When I grew up, when I went to go to family events, my dad made sure I said hi to my aunts the proper way. And it's not like, hi, auntie. No, it's Jamriepsu Taiku. And Taiku is the title given to my aunts because they're my dad's older sisters. It's a Chinese title. I have to call them by their title. And, you know, I don't know what this is actually called in a bow. I guess a bow. Yeah. We call it, sepea. And you have to do that to every single adult that is older than your parents. Even like they're in the same age as your parents, you literally have to go around to all the adults and say, hi, 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 hi. That was such a big deal that was instilled into me when I was young that it carries with me now. I do the exact same thing with every adult I meet. And the first thing they say is, my God, this kid knows respect. This kid knows his traditions. This kid is a good kid. It is mind-blowing how often I hear that. And it's because my peers, my Cambodian peers in my age group, do not do these things anymore. And it's looked down upon. And it's rare to see a person of my age with these traditions, right? And that respect thing, it's not even given in here in the U. Everybody's like, oh, you have to earn my respect. You have to earn my respect. No. People that are older than you automatically get a certain amount of respect off the bat. Their respect can go up or down as you conversate with them, but they get a certain amount off the bat. Why? They live longer than you. They've seen more than you. That alone you should be giving them somewhat of respect. They lived a different life than you. They have a different insight than you. U.S. people or Americans do not give a fuck about other people's experiences. Do not give a fuck about, like this respect factor that Asian culture is so ingrained upon. And it's the traditional Asians. I see Asians nowadays. My ex-wife was one of them that wasn't the same way. She wasn't raised the same way. She was born here. My siblings are like halfway this because they were born here, but it got instilled into them, but they became so Americanized because they were born here. I was born in another country, grew up that way, and it was instilled into me, and I kept it because I understood how important it was.
And I'm looking forward.
Like I said, I'm gonna show this bad too. Not all passport bro things are good. But I also want to say this is a very rare case. There's not passport bros going around countries killing people.
Chinese court sentences U.S. citizen to death for murder. Beijing, Reuters. A Chinese court sentenced U.S. citizen Shadid Abdul-Mateen to death on Thursday for intentional homicide of a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, this is what women like to argue, right? Not all men, not all of us. Yeah, this is one example of one bad man. There's a lot of bad people, a lot of bad actors in the world. This happens to be one that happened to be a passport bro. It does not reflect on all passport bros because people aren't going around murdering people. They're actually going to genuinely look for wives and genuinely just want to be loved. And here's the good.
Passport bros. You guys ready for another success story? The house is spotless. She cooks every day.
She's
and
damn
I just taught
gorgeous.
her the only thing she needs to know in English. Oh, thank you, honey. Say something.
Yes, Daddy.
See? Passport bros.
Oh, this seems pretty staged, but I think it's pretty truth still, though.
When I found out about it, it was on TikTok, and I'm getting like the man's and the woman's view. Mm-hmm. And the woman's view is not very kind. Yeah, it's like, and then like men see the woman's reaction, and of course, it kind of seems like maybe they're getting triggered which is a high potential, I think, that, you know, they're not liking it because, like, why do men need to go somewhere else just because what does that say? That women here are not good enough? And I think that's, like, where that triggered feeling is coming from. But, like, we'll go over, like, some decent reasons as to why it's happening, and just the fact that there's so many people that are doing it. Like, it's something to look at and to, you know, talk about. And I found out about it. It was on TikTok.
I think this is why this conversation is growing. One of my Passport Bro videos has been really blowing up, and I think women are starting to really want to attack us in the most harsh ways possible. And these videos that, you know, that I keep doing, and, you know, not just me, freaking all of us do a lot of Passport Bro videos just of these types of women. It's just even showing more of their insecurities and stuff. So I think that this is going to be a big problem for a while.
Look, if you want to go abroad and find a traditional woman to spend the rest of your life with, that's totally okay.
That's good.
But what you have to realize is, regardless of where you are
huh?
in the world, energy doesn't lie.
Energy,
And
huh?
just because a woman is more traditional doesn't mean she's an idiot.
You never
So
said
if
she
you're
was.
going abroad, you're getting your passport and you're going abroad
Yep.
with the intention to try to manipulate and gaslight women who don't speak English as well and aren't really accustomed to Western men and their mentalities and their manipulation tactics.
Don't think that we're women here.
For certain that your energy's not gonna lie. Well, the main lesson here, to be really
energy.
blunt, is to not feel like you're untouchable just because you got a passport and you're in another country.
No one
Because
said
your
that.
energy can't lie. It can't. You gotta
Oh.
change your intentions.
I don't even know what my energy
in your
says.
heart and mind in order for your energy to change.
Oh, okay.
You can't hide it.
I had to change
And they
my
may not
mind
be
to
able
change
to
my
tell
energy?
what's wrong with you right away, but eventually they'll figure it out.
Oh, okay.
And if they don't figure it out, when it comes time for you to meet their families, because again, these are traditional women, they don't do the dating, they go right into marriage, which means you have to meet her family and her dad and impress
Just like we
everyone in
used
her
to do,
family.
right?
If you do all of that successfully, then you got the traditional wife you wanted. Congratulations. Otherwise, before you catch flights, catch this reality check. Look, if you want...
It's funny, the things that she says is just what men expected. That's what men used to do in the U.S. What, you think we're not prepared to do those things in other countries? Get out of here. How was that chow? A little bit sweet and sour right there, you know? Some bad things about Passport Bros, you know, going out to murder people, obviously horrible. You know, and there's some good things about Passport Bros, you know, we're not bad people. You know, good women that defend us, bad women that hate us. And then, you know, there's some women that are just kind of realizing what's going on too. So please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.